What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. It has now been over a month since MLB The Show 20 has released, and in that time I have had so much experience playing this game, many days logged, and I've had some time to digest and really let these things sink in, the things that I like and dislike about this game. I did a similar video last year, and this is going to be 5 things I love about the game and 5 things I dislike and think that really need to be worked on. All of these are going to center around Diamond Dynasty or gameplay, so I'm not going to touch on like the offline modes. After 2 or 3 months, I usually have my overall landscape review, which I will be doing, but we're strictly talking about Diamond Dynasty and gameplay, mostly gameplay in this video. And what I would love if you guys could do is go down in the comment section and tell me 5 things you love, or even 1 thing that you love, and 5 things or even 1 thing that you hate about the game that you wish could get worked on, maybe patched and ironed out. And before we get into this one, make sure to leave a like down below. It really helps out the videos a ton, and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet. We're getting really close to 32,000. Let's see if we can do it by today. So if you guys want a great place for updates pretty much as soon as they happen, news, tips, gameplays, it's all going to be here on this channel. That being said, let's get into it. Of course, we are going to start with the goods. It's always better to start out on a positive note. If you only want to see the bad things, if you're a pessimist, there will be a timestamp down below in the comment section, the pinned one. So the first thing that I really love about this game is the team affinity programs. I thought they were really cool last year, but they weren't that good after like a month. They were 87, 89 overall diamonds, kind of like we have right now, except there's going to be expansions. And I actually made a video, which I'll link up at the top right hand corner, going through my whole predictions on the spring stage 2, who I think is going to be in there. And it is just so much better because there's so many more ways to earn. You can really choose. Do you want to grind innings? Do you want to play online? Do you want to do these missions? Do you want to just spend stubs if you have some extra exchange players? Do you want to play Showdown? Doing the collections, doing March to October. There's going to be more moments. And it also gives you team affinity packs, and like I said, the overalls are similar, but I don't feel any of the cards were as good as ones that we're seeing in the team affinity. And overall, I just think it's really good, and I cannot wait to see what else they bring to the table when the expansions hit. There could not have been a better transition going into Showdown, because the two really kind of play into each other, and I love Showdown. I have been addicted to playing them recently, and I understand that this can be a bit of a touchy subject. Not everybody loves the Showdown game mode because it can be difficult, but once you get into it, once you learn how to beat it, it becomes kind of simple. I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk, and I'm not going to say I go nuts to butts, just balls deep in down 15 heading into it. I don't do that because I like to try and make my stubs back and you know, build a better team, so it's not very hard once I get to the final Showdown. But once you get immersed into it, once you're familiarized with it, it's not that bad, and it's basically Battle Royale offline with some of the best rewards, and they do directly correlate to team affinity. Of course, the first and second inning go into your program points, and they give you a ton, which really helps you complete those really quickly. And then the team affinities, like I said, it cannot work better. It's bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly. And once the expansions once again do hit, I think it is going to be so good. So I really like Showdown, and it even helps you get better at the game. You really have to watch pitches, be patient, and that is going to teach you that more than almost anything else ever could. Something that I cannot begin to give this game so much credit for is its no money spent aspect. I used to play games like Madden and 2K, and those compared to this game don't hold a candle. There is so much stuff that you can do for absolutely free. Pretty much at least once or twice a week they add in completely free player programs. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, some more than others, specifically talking about the Jackie Robinson, but these not only are going to give you free diamond players such as the Kerry Wood that you have to do a couple easy moments and you're going to get a free diamond player, but they also give you program points, to then get even more diamond players. And then if you think about the XP reward path and the prestige XP reward path, if you guys don't know, there's even better stuff there. You just have to play the game and you earn really good rewards. Some of the best cards in the game you're going to get from the XP reward path. And then in Showdown, in Moments, there's just so many things that get you great cards. You do not have to spend a single dime on this game. No matter what you think about hitting, I think we can all agree Perfect was a very good addition. The thing that most people still to this day complain and hold a grudge over with the hitting system is inconsistency. And Perfect, yes, you still get out sometimes. It can happen. It's happened to me. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but it is the very small minority of the time that does actually happen. It really feels like you get rewarded, and alongside the new 3-tier dot system, which I personally like because it makes you play to the strength, or at least encourages you to play to the strength of whatever batter you have. So if you have a big power hitter like Aaron Judge or Nelson Cruz, your top dots, like you can see right here, are going to be bigger, saying that is what you should focus on, because if you get a perfect fly ball, it's going to be a home run with Nelson Cruz. So I just think they've done it really well, and in a kind of dark tunnel where inconsistencies still run amok within hitting, it has really helped out and really brought a breath of fresh air into this game. And the final thing that I really love about this game is being able to customize your PCI. Now, a lot of people might think that who really cares? I didn't change my PCI, it doesn't make a difference. To a lot of people it can, and it's nice to have the option to where you can choose how you want it to look. You can choose if you want it to show up just a little bit or as present as anything else, so it is not blocking your strike zone. Of course, this doesn't really apply if you use directional hitting, but I think the good majority of people that are at least watching this video most likely do use zone hitting, and there's just a flurry of different things you can customize. If you are colorblind, for example, use a color that you can see better. If there's a contrast to a stadium you usually play in, I usually like to pick red because that is inherently obvious that I can clearly see where my PCI is. There's outer circles that you can have them fade out. It really all depends what you want to have, and I really like the option. So those are the things I love about MLB The Show 20 throughout a month and a lot of time spent on this game. Now let's move on to the things that I don't love, that I disdain, that I loathe. And of course we have to start out with probably the biggest thing plaguing this game right now, and that is of course the outfielder lock-ons, or rather lack thereof. I'm gonna run some clips to you guys and you can just see it is abysmal. It is really frustrating that you are basically having the game taken out of your hands. There's balls hit right to you. It doesn't matter if you've done everything right, just as you would in any other previous title of MLB The Show. For some reason, your outfielder or infielder in certain cases just does not get an animation to actually catch the ball. And there is many times, I'll play you a clip where that happened to me. I was hitting, I got bailed out, and I hit what would inevitably be the game-winning home run that very next pitch with Jason Giambi. I cannot even think of what my opponent must think after that happened. It is really bad. And they put out a patch about a week ago, but I think a lot of people would say that it has probably gotten worse ever since that patch came out. Somehow in their attempt of making it better, it is actually retracted, and it's been even worse. And I know it's difficult in these challenging times, what with everything going on in the world. I think all the developers are most likely working from home, so it makes it even more challenging than it already would be to kind of perfect some of the things in the game. But it is, you cannot gloss over it. It is the biggest problem and sticks out like a sore thumb. If you've watched the MLB The Show Players Tournament where MLB players are playing and that happens to them, you can see visibly on their face that it is so frustrating. When this game first released, a lot of people had the complaint pitching is too difficult, hitting is too easy. I think that's because it's on low difficulties at that time when the game first came out for most people, and the PCI is really big. It doesn't really matter how close you are, you're still gonna hit the ball. Anyway, they had a pitcher control buff in a patch. Supposedly, I don't really know if this did much to the actual game, because there's many times where I feel I have virtually no control or very limited control, not to where my stats and my actual results from my analog meter actually match up. Specifically, I'll play a clip with Roy Oswalt where I was pitching with him, I throw a curveball below the zone, and it is ended up going down the middle. This is with Roy Oswalt, who has 90 plus walks per 9. That, in my opinion, is the biggest problem. If anybody would come up with the complaint that pitching is too difficult, it's that you don't actually get a sense of control where you want to throw things, and that just makes everything more difficult. So I think if it's tighter and it is more sound, I think it would make things so much better gameplay-wise. It might seem crazy that a whole topic of this video is going to revolve around one card, and that is going to be Corey Kluber, and there's a couple reasons. The first of which being that they told us this was not going to happen. Last year, in the level 75 pack and XP on bronze, there was Clayton Kershaw, who was by far the best pitcher out of that entire thing, the best player, and he was very good. Corey Kluber is even better, so they told us this was not going to happen, and they made it even worse. Now, Corey Kluber is really, really good, and one of the worst things about him is he's so good that nobody else wants to pitch with anybody else but him. If you put him down to about 25% stamina, wait 2 to 3 games, he's ready for another start because he has such good stuff, and he can just mow down hitters. The sinker is a blur, even at 93 miles per hour once you get on Hall of Fame Legend difficulty, and it really just makes things uninteresting. If 1 out of every 2 games I'm facing the same pitcher. Bunt cheese is back and worse than ever, baby. Bunting is really annoying in this game. I'll play you guys some clips. If you have somebody like Byron Buxton or even the new Jackie Robinson, somebody with 99 bunting and close to 99 speed, you can just push bunt with the right analog stick over to second base all day. It doesn't matter if I have really fast second baseman like Tatis Jr. He is not getting there by the time you get there. And a lot of times, if he pushes it down first base, he is always going to beat whichever first baseman you have down the line. On top of that, swinging bunts are so annoying because it is probably even worse than the bunting epidemic that is currently plaguing this game. You'll have people who are completely off on their PCI, completely off on their timing, and if they have 80 plus speed, if they hit it in between your pitcher and catcher, they are almost guaranteed to get a base hit out of it, and it is really annoying. You get really bad animations that take really long to throw the ball over to first base, and it equals in a lot of base hits undeserved and can of course lead to a lot of runs. And finally, I want to talk about something that isn't a huge deal. It's an inconvenience and something I don't particularly like, but I can live with how it is. So I am of course talking about how you cannot do anything with the cards that you collect. As soon as you collect them, they are non-sellable and you cannot exchange them. If you do get duplicate non-sellable cards from a Team Affinity pack, for example, those you can quick sell and you can exchange. So that's nice. You can do something with those. But it really kind of hinders some of the no money spent experience. It is still definitely doable. It's just kind of an annoyance, I would say at best, because you'll have a lot of these diamonds like a Charlie Morton. As soon as I bought him, my team's already good enough to where I'm never going to use this card. So maybe in an event, but more than likely he's just going to sit there and collect virtual pixelated dust. So it would be nice. In my opinion, what I think they should do is have maybe an exchange set where you have like 5 NAT diamonds. You can do it by exchange point, so it's fair, and you can get one like 85 to 89 overall sellable diamond pack. Something like that I think would be a pretty good idea. Just something to give some use to these cards that otherwise would just, you know, fill a binder. It looks nice, but at the end of the day, it's not exactly useful. So that's going to do it for this video. Those are 5 things that I love and 5 things that I dislike slash hate. I only hate really the outfielder lock onto the bunts. Those are really bad, and I think those really have to be fixed. Everything else is just kind of an annoyance for the most part, and I really hope that these things can get fixed, especially the gameplay ones. I hope that eventually we're going to see a patch. It doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, and I know it's challenging with, you know, the developers having to work from home, but at some point it would be really nice to see this get fixed, because nothing is more disheartening than getting your opponent to fly out. You threw a good pitch, he didn't get good solid contact, but he ends up getting on base anyway because your outfielder just doesn't lock in. It doesn't matter if he has good fielding either. It's happened to Joey Gallo, who has gold defense. I don't get it. Leave down below in the comments section things that you love and dislike about this game. If you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a like down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. There goes some Saudi Yeats.